How to apply for a name transfer online? It's fairly a simple and straightforward process as long as you have all the relevant documents. You don't need any help from anyone, you can do it by yourself. Everything is online. You just have to visit the RTO office twice. Once to hand over the documents, and second is a week from then to collect the new registration certificate. The total amount it costed me is about 475 rupees. 375 rupees is for the documents and the new registration certificate cost, and 100 rupees is for the pollution certificate. Now let's take a look at the documents that are required in order to process this. First is the registration certificate. Second is the insurance. At least the third party should be active, if not own damage. Third is the no objection certificate in case if the vehicle is under finance or if it's from a different state or city. Form 29, duly signed by the transferor, that is the first owner. Form 30, duly signed by the transferor as well as the transferee, that is the first owner and second owner. In case if the vehicle is under finance, the financier should also sign in the Form 30. Form 35 again, if the vehicle is hypothecated or financed. If the vehicle is not under finance, we don't need this Form 35. Form 29 and 30 would do. You don't have to buy this form from any store. When we go to the website and start filling in the details, upon making the payment, they will give us a digital copy of Form 29 and 30, which is pre-filled with the details that we have entered while filling the application. So we just have to take a printout and sign it. Next one is the new owner's photo along with the vehicle. The number plate should be visible, followed by the PAN card, Aadhaar card, and the pollution certificate. That's all the documents that are required in order to successfully process this name transfer. Now let's go to the website and take a look at how to apply, how to fill in the application. Just follow the step-by-step process. Like I said, it's simple and straightforward. You have to visit the website Parivahan. If you Google it, that'll be the first result most probably. It's parivahan.gov.in, and once you're on the website, you have to hover the mouse on online services, which should be the second tab up top, and click on vehicle related services. It'll ask you to select the state in which the vehicle is registered, and then we'll have to select the RTO. In my case, my vehicle is registered under Punnamalli RTO, so I'm selecting that and clicking on proceed. So now here we have a lot of options. We have to select apply for transfer of ownership. So it's asking me to enter the vehicle registration number and the last 5 digits of vehicle identification number. In otherwise, it's called as chassis number. I'm entering the vehicle registration number and the last 5 digits of the identification number. So now it says the mobile number is not registered in Vahan. Please register your mobile number, which will be used in all further transactions. And it is also giving us an option from where we can do this. Now this is an experience when there is no mobile number is registered. The experience will differ if there is a number which is already registered for the vehicle. In that case, it will ask you to authenticate using the OTP one-time password. You can either request it to your phone or to using the other one-time password. So both ways we can authenticate. Having said that, if the first owner mobile number is registered, it's easy. We can ask them to update your mobile number on the record so that it's easy for you to carry out this process. In some cases, it will by default give us an option to change the mobile number. That happens in rare cases. but in my case that's what happened. So now let's see how we can update this, because it requires some additional details. So if we go to the services and additional services, we have an option called update mobile number. Once you click on yes, so these are the details we have to fill in. It's vehicle registration number followed by the chassis number, engine number, registration date, and registration of fitness valid up to date. I'm feeding in the required details now. One of the difficult tasks is entering the full chassis number. Vehicle registration date. So now it is asking, it just pre-fill the details of the vehicle owner name and everything. Once you confirm that's yours, you can feed in your mobile number and then click on generate one-time password. You will get the one-time password to your mobile phone, the number that we have updated, and click on save details. It says, are you sure you want to update email or mobile data? Click on yes. It says mobile number has been updated successfully. Now we can go back. Okay, now we are again back to Parivahan website homepage. Hover the mouse again on online services and click on vehicle related services. Select the state and then the RTO in which the vehicle is registered. Now we have many options here. Again, now we are selecting the transfer of ownership. If you remember, I've mentioned that in case if there is a number which is already registered, we will be given two options. One is to authenticate using mobile one-time password or using the Aadhaar. Since we just have updated our mobile number, I'm selecting using mobile one-time password and clicking on generate one-time password. I'll be getting it shortly. It's almost real time, to my surprise. Alright, now we have many options listed here. Now if you read up top, it says please click here to get no objection certificate is required if applying for the transfer of ownership outside of the state. So like I mentioned in the introduction, if you bought a vehicle which is from a different state than where you live in, or you're taking the vehicle to another state, in that case we need the no objection certificate from the RTO in which the vehicle is registered. In my case, it was within the state, so I did not follow this process. So if you are doing it outside of your state, then yes, you have to follow this process. So now if you see here at the bottom, we have transfer of ownership, termination of hypothecation, duplicate RC, change of address, addition of hypothecation, or continuation of hypothecation. So transfer of ownership. So once we have all the details filled in, we have to enter the new owner's name, father's name, and the date in which the vehicle is being sold. Now here we have to update the new mobile number again one more time. So you can enter the same number that we just updated. And can fill in the address details. So if your current address and the permanent address are the same, then you just have to enter once in the current address and select same as current address, so that it will all auto fill in. Now, as we discussed during the introduction, so the total amount that is going to cost you is 375 rupees, 150 for the transfer of ownership, 200 for the smart card fee, and about 25 rupees for the user or service charges. In total, it's just 375 rupees, and additional 100 rupees is to avail the pollution certificate. Clicking on save draft, it says application for transfer of ownership saved successfully in draft with the application number. So make a note of this application number, which is very important. In the event where you want to retrieve the application to upload the documents that are required for the applications, you can this application number will come in handy, so make a note of this somewhere. Clicking on OK, the next step is to make the payment. So I'm clicking on pay now. Now it's asking to confirm all the details that we just fed one more time to make sure that everything is intact, because once we make the payment, there is no way we can get a refund. Alright, we can only withdraw the application, so we cannot get refund, or we will not be able to transfer the application from one RTO to another. Alright, so I'm selecting the payment gateway as Canara Bank because that's the only option they gave. I'm clicking on continue. So I'm going to make the payment using the Google Pay. I'm entering the I'm going to make the payment selecting Google Pay. I've entered the ID. Clicking on verify, hit verified, and then it's asking me to proceed. Alright, the payment is successfully done. Upon making successful payment, if you see, we are getting these options. First one is Form 29, second one is Form 30, and then print receipt. Okay, so once you click on it, it will open this information in the next tab. So once you click on this, it will open the information in the next tab. So one of the useful thing with this is this Form 29 or the Form 30, everything is pre-filled in, so we don't have to sit and write on a piece of paper. Everything is pre-filled in. All we have to do is just take a printout and just have to put the signature as in where it's required. So I'm first saving it as a PDF. And we also have to take a printout of the print receipt. We need 2 copies of this print receipt because one, like I mentioned initially, we will be submitting along with the documents, and another copy we would be taking it. We need 2 copies of this receipt. One, we will be submitting it along with the documents when we submit the application, and the second one is when we go to collect the new RC card a week from now. We would be requiring it, so make a 2 copy of this print receipt alone. Now you might be thinking, okay, so this page is not going to stay here forever, right? Because you will have to download this and then make a sign. You have to get the signature from the first owner as well as so it's not going to happen in a real time. So yes, this page will get refreshed, don't worry. So in the event if you have the Form 29 and 30 already filled in, what you can do by then is you can go to upload documents, right? So in this, if you see here, like I mentioned initially, these are all the list of documents that we have to upload. So first, address proof. We have, these are the options for address proof: Aadhaar card, affidavit approved by RTO, firm registration details, LIC policy, passport or voter ID, any of this. Form 29, Form 30, insurance certificate, owner photo with the vehicle, which is very important, registration certificate, any other documents you would like to share, your PAN card. And this proceedings, I'm not sure what exactly this proceedings is all about. I did not share anything. The next one is the pollution under control certification, PUC certification basically. So what we have to do, there is a process. For example, so just for the demonstration purpose, I'll show you. So I'm trying to upload the form 29 now, but it throws an error and it says please check the file name. It should only contain only alphabets, digits, special characters, nothing is allowed. So whenever you, for example, you downloaded, you filled everything, right? So once you filled everything and then make a copy, and then when you store it in your machine, so basically the file names that you're going to upload here should not have any special characters or any space between the words, so it should be one word. Alright, so once you fill in all the documents, and so this is where we can upload all the required documents. So before you hit final submit, we have to be very mindful that we have uploaded all the required documents. So like I said, you might have downloaded form 29 and 30, although it's pre-filled, and you still need signature from the first owner, which might take some time. Now if you X out this window, you might have a question, will I be able to go back and resume this operation? Yes, you can do so. So how we are going to do that is simple. You just go back to Parivahan again, and in this case, if you see, we have an option called status here, and in the status you will have an option called add pending or modify uploaded documents. And then here you have two options: upload pending documents or modify uploaded documents. So I'm selecting upload pending documents. Now again, it will ask you to enter the vehicle registration number, the last 5 digits of the chassis number, and now you recollect the important and application number. Remember I told you to make a note of it. Yeah, this comes in handy. Clicking on verify, it will fill in the mobile number which is registered to this application. Clicking on generate one-time password, you will get the OTP to your mobile phone again, which is, so once you feed that information, you'll have to click on submit. And then now if you see here, you have two options, upload documents and document submit. So we're going to select the option upload documents here again. And now in case if you couldn't upload any document during the checkout process, you can always come back and do this anytime here, as long as you didn't click on submit, final submit. So assume once you have uploaded all the documents that are required, okay, so you just have to click on document submit. So In my case, since I did not submit all the required documents, it says please upload all the required documents, then you'll be able to do final submission. Since I did it for the demonstration purpose, I'm not going to fill in or upload all of those things, so I'm just gonna kind of pause the video here, the flow. I'm going to pause the flow here. Now I'll tell you the next steps. It's pretty simple. If you manage to come through all this way, I think you're almost there. So the next step would be, once you upload everything and then click on document submit, the next option would be, it'll give you an option to book an appointment. Okay, so once you click an appointment, it'll ask you to enter the application number. In some places the copy paste will work, and in some places you'll have to enter the data manually. Now if you see, when I try to book an appointment, it says date gap not configured for Kunruthur RTO, kindly contact RTO. So not to worry, this doesn't mean that our application process is stalled, nothing as such. All you have to do is, if you remember the list of documents that are required, so once you have all those documents prepped and ready, and you uploaded a soft copy of everything to the portal and clicked on submit, you just have to take everything, all of those documents, to the RTO office, and there will be a counter to hand over this specific online applications. In that counter you have to hand over all the documents. When you hand it over, make sure you so that counter will be functional from morning 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Between this window, if you go there, you will be able to hand over that. And once you do so, they will run that application number in their record, and once they have the details pulled up, and once they validate the document and everything is in order, that's pretty much it. So they will ask you to come a week from then, or depending on the their schedule. But once that is done, in my case, I handed over my application about 1 o'clock, and then I got a confirmation message from Vahan around 5 p.m. that the ownership change is successful, and I was able to download a digital copy from DigiSet. So that it was that easy. And then exactly a week from then, they asked me to come back again on a Tuesday the next week, and I went on that Tuesday along with that the second copy of that payment confirmation receipt. And I was asked to sign a ledger, and they handed over the new registration certificate. So in a nutshell, that's all the process and the steps that are required in order to avail the in a nutshell, those are all the steps that you have to take in order to successfully do the name transfer. So one tip though is, you might encounter some server error when you're trying to upload the documents, depending on the time in which you're trying. Do not worry, it's just a temp bug. It could be the server maintenance. You might get some forbidden error when you're trying to upload the documents. I dropped an email, and they were quite responsive, and they got back to me and said that it was a maintenance time when I was trying to upload, because by the time when I was uploading, it was 3 or 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning, and later in the evening when I tried, I was able to upload it successfully. And in some cases, they may ask you to reduce the size of the documents, to 100 or 200 KB. You can make use of some of the online PDF compression or picture JPEG compression, which comes in handy. And the day when you're going to submit the application, there are a lot of pollution check centers will be closed by the RTO office. You can go there, take your vehicle, and it's just 5 minutes process max, and they'll give you the pollution certificate then and there. You can make a copy of it and you can upload there itself, or you can even get back home and upload it. so doesn't matter though. I think I've covered everything, and the dogs are barking. If you have watched this far,